Hey, today I am going to give you my review of Margaritaville at Sea on the ship Paradise. Along with that, I'm going to give you 3 things that was good about the ship and 3 things not so great about the ship. Stay tuned. Okay, so first off, we did go on a Christmas cruise. We departed on Christmas Eve and returned the day after Christmas. That was our 2-night cruise on the Margaritaville at Sea. Our cabin number was 5029 on deck 5, and we went to Freeport, Bahamas. Freeport, Bahamas is the only port, aside from West Palm Beach, that the Margaritaville at Sea ship goes to. So first off, I want to say that this is a small, old ship. She was built in 1991. And so if you have cruised any at all, you will know that these smaller ships do tend to sway more when the seas are a bit rough. And on our trip out to Freeport, she was a rockin'. So if that bothers you, or if you're sensitive to that kind of thing, then, do what you need to do or avoid this cruise during typically rough sea times. That being said, the ship does go very slow going over to Freeport because it's a very short distance from West Palm to Freeport. So some general observations about things that I noticed while being on Margaritaville at Sea. One is that it is very hard to hear the overhead announcements. Anytime that the captain or the cruise director was trying to make any kind of announcement, it didn't really matter what part of the ship I was in, I struggled to hear the announcements. So keep that in mind. Next observation would be that the itinerary was also a pain in the butt to get. So when I say that, some cruise lines have an app. This one does not have an app. Some cruise lines will leave the itinerary for you on your bed or in your cabin for you for the next day. This also did not happen. And if you were to look for it, you have to go to guest services. That's the only place you can get it. Now, they did have a thing mounted on the wall where you could pick one up so you don't have to actually stand in the line. So don't make that mistake. If you were looking just to get that, it is up against the wall. So just go over there and grab one. They do not print out the next days until after midnight. So keep that in mind also. The breakfast is in 2 places. You can go to the buffet or you can go to the Finn's dining room. They're pretty much the same thing, minus 1 or 2 things. So I would say, like, if you want the scrambled egg or the fresh egg station where they put the stuff in your eggs, that you can only get at the buffet. You can't get that in the main dining room. With the main dining room, you do get a more relaxed, chilled atmosphere. It is still buffet style. And so you're not getting a whole lot extra there. They will serve you orange juice and coffee. I will say that the service for those things were very slow. The coffee is a dark roast, so it had kind of a burnt taste to me as someone who likes a light or house blend. And I on average drink a medium blend. So if that's your flavor profile, just know that you're probably not gonna like their standard coffee. They do have a coffee shop. You can get coffee at the coffee shop. It is an upcharge. It was a reasonable price. However, they have very strict hours. They are not open all day. And in the morning they close at 10. While I went up there on day 2, the day we were at port, and it was at 9:45 and they were already practically closed. I was told the only thing I could get was drip coffee. And they acted like it was a huge inconvenience that I showed up 15 minutes before they were supposed to close. So if you really want that coffee, go early. The pizza place. So there was lots of things being tossed around about the pizza place. So I will say that they do offer complimentary slices. It is on their menu board. They do a cheese, a pepperoni, and a sausage. They are not available all at the same time, so you can only get the free slice that they're offering at that time. I went 2 different times. One time I got cheese, and the other time I got pepperoni. I never got sausage. It was never available. And so if you're real picky about which one you get, just know that you might be out of luck. I will say that the prices for their full-size pizzas were also very fair. It was like $4, $5, $6, something like that. So that's not terrible as an upcharge if you want like a whole pizza that you have whatever toppings you want on it. A tip for alcoholic drinks, whether you get the boat drinks package or you're paying per drink, you get bigger drinks when you go to the Euphoria Lounge, and they give it to you in real glassware. I didn't figure this out until day 2. So we had gotten the 10 boat drink package, and I was getting them up the pool deck. They give you a small plastic cup, and it's not a lot. Now, they were pretty strong, so at least they weren't weak. But if you want a better value, I recommend going into the Euphoria Lounge and getting your drinks there. It's about twice the size. I do not recommend doing the upcharge for the booze in the blender. It was $20, and you get the cup and you get the drink in the cup for the $20. That does not count against your drink package if you have gotten a drink package. However, if you have the drink package and you are refilling your booze in the blender, it is 1 credit plus $7. So if you do the math, the boat drink package is between $90 and $100, depending upon discounts, no discounts, if you include taxes or not. So that's roughly $10 a drink plus $7 more on top of it to fill that booze in the blender. It's not worth it. So I don't recommend that unless you just really, really, really want that cup. Then you do you. But it's not a good deal. It's not a value. They try to make it like it is, and it's just not. Now the soda package, they have a special cup for the soda package, and you have to get those refilled at the bars. And a lot of people that I saw and talked to were complaining about trying to get the refills at the bars. They felt like it was an annoyance to the bartenders, and they were struggling to get those refills because you can't just, there's no soda machine. There's no soda machine on the pool deck. There's no soda machine at the buffet. You have to go to a bar. So it's kind of inconvenient to have the soda package and have to go to a bar because people that want bar drinks are also going to the bar. So it was kind of like a whole thing. It's not great. The drinks that they offer in the buffet: water, cranberry juice, fruit punch, tea, and sometimes they switch out like orange juice or something else. We got water out of that thing one time, and it was like white, and it had a horrible like chemically smell. And then we got cranberry juice out of it, and after my husband was done drinking it, like in the little cup was like particles of something. Just know it's a thing. They do have tea. They do have ice cream that is included. It is at the very back of the buffet towards the 5 o'clock somewhere bar. It is not self-serve. Someone is standing there to do it for you. You can get it in a cup or cone, but you can have as much of it as you want. So I recommend If you're not getting a soda package, or you just need water or some other type of drink, bring a refillable cup, fill it up anytime that you go to the buffet, and you can get into the buffet all hours, and those drink machines are working. They may not be empty. I know it was eye twitching, the whole drink thing. I was so dehydrated by the time I got off the ship because I was so put off by the free drinks, the alcohol drinks, and the water in the dining room. I think of it as almost pool water. It's kind of what it tasted and smelled like. I had them bring me fresh lemon to add lemon to the water to make it palatable. And the water in the room was also that funny smell. So you cannot bring your own sodas. You cannot bring your own water on board. You can buy their bottled water, but it's expensive. So, word to the wise, be warned, be prepared for those things. So, with the cabins, I will just kind of give you a quick rundown of our cabin situation that we had. The bed was pretty comfortable. The pillows were super nice. I'm actually considering trying to hunt one of those pillows down for my own bedroom. It was that nice. There was a musty smell in the room. So if you're going on this cruise, bring some air freshener. The toilets will only flush if there is a light on in the room. So you cannot go in the middle of the night without turning lights on and get that toilet to flush. It's not going to happen. I know, it's silly. The shower itself got hot, got cold, worked fine. The shampoo, the conditioner, and the body wash that are included for your use were fine. The shampoo was clarifying and cleansing, so you could get that squeaky hair sound going. The conditioner was a very mild conditioner, so it didn't over moisturize my hair. And the body wash foamed up. It was fine with my loofah. So, you know, if you're okay with those types of things, they smelled fine. They had like a kind of nice tropical smell. If you're okay with that, then just leave yours at home. If you need something more specific to your hair needs, skin needs, then bring it. Washcloths were not in the room when we arrived. We had to request them. Upon request, we did get them. I highly recommend just checking your room from A to Z upon getting to your room. Once it's available to you, do not skip this step, because it is a nightmare to try to get someone to come and fix anything that's wrong with your room. We had initially checked in and got into our room and noticed that our room was very hot, even with the AC turned all the way down. We addressed this to the room attendant. He said he was going to have someone come and look at it. We went off and did some things, came back in 2 hours just to kind of see where all that was. Had not been touched. In fact, the room had kind of gotten into a sauna state. So then we had to make a call and get someone to come up, and we had to wait. And it was a considerable wait, considering we had already made the issue known and then it didn't get fixed. The guy did finally come. He did finally tweak it, and it went from being hot sauna to like an ambient temperature. It never did get cool in that room. The safe also did not work in that room. We had the room attendant check it. He said that it needed further repair and that he would get someone to come and do it. That never happened either. Luckily, it was only a 2-night cruise. So just be mindful, be diligent. If you do this cruise, do your checks, and make sure that you stay on top of somebody to get these things fixed and addressed right away, because it is such a short cruise. So, 3 things that I would say are good things about this cruise. Number 1, they had really good food in the main dining room for dinner. and the breakfast buffet food was also good. So that's number one. Number two thing that I think was good about this cruise, if you like to watch TV, they had some of the best TV channel options I have yet seen on a cruise ship. The only blah about that is that it is satellite, so if you've ever experienced satellite TV, you'll know you'll be like, ooh, and then ooh. So, but they had lots of choices if you want to sit and watch TV. And the third positive to Margaritaville at Sea is that the ship is small and easy to navigate. So it being a short cruise, you don't have a whole lot of time to kind of really hunt down things, but it was not a problem. There was only a couple of venues that we were actually using and needed to use, and they were very easy to find and get to. Had it all figured out within the first few trips back and forth and around. So those are my three good things about this ship. All right, now for my three not so good things about this ship. One, I'm gonna lump these two things together, is that it was dingy, smelly, and semi-dirty. So that was one. Number two, not so good thing about the ship, is that there wasn't a lot of entertainment options. Several times, me and my husband were bored, just sitting around, twiddling our thumbs, waiting for the next thing to do. So they could use some more entertainment. And number three, which kind of piggybacks off of number two, is that the entertainment that was provided, in my opinion, was lacking. There were constant technical difficulties, delays and things being started. And so then that would just kind of put a rush and a mess on the other things that were being offered. The ship show, if you want to see it, it's offered twice during the cruise, and it is at the same time. So if you get second seating, you're gonna miss it. So either you need to do the first seating for the dining, or you need to hit the buffet and not worry about the main dining room in order to see the ship show. The ship show was okay. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. Now, who would I recommend this cruise for? I would recommend this cruise to somebody that wants to do the cruise and stay. And the cruise and stay is where you take the ship over to Grand Bahama and you stay at one of the all-inclusives, and then you use the ship to come back to Florida. That is literally the only way that I would pay to go on this cruise again, is if I wanted to go to Freeport. I would also recommend this cruise to those service members that get the free ticket, or if you catch this at a steal of a deal, do not pay full price to go on a 2-day cruise with them. It's not a good value, and it's not a great trip. And so I also want to say that I do not recommend this cruise for anyone with children. I heard from several parents that they were very unhappy with the kids clubs, that they were not interactive, that it was pretty much like a daycare that sat your kids in front of TV shows and movies. So the kids were frustrated and bored, and there were not a lot of great activities for the children on board. It made it worse because when we went, it was cold, so the pool was not a great option during our short cruise. So I just don't recommend this cruise for a family. And a lot of the entertainment that you could do on board was, you know, like your trivia and stuff like that, it would have been stuff that the kids wouldn't have known anything about anyway. So just really not a great cruise for families or someone bringing along children. All right, so to wrap it up, I will say that I may or may not go on Margaritaville again. I will definitely not be going just for a 2-night cruise. I would only do it again to do the stay-in cruise and enjoy one of the all-inclusives on Freeport, Bahamas. So that being said, I hope this video was helpful to you. If it was, please give me a like. Please leave me a comment if you have any questions. I'm here to help. I will put links in the description box below for any information that I can help you with as far as Margaritaville at sea. Please subscribe. We are doing lots of fun things this coming year. Our next big cruise is going to be in February on the Norwegian cruise line, the Prima. So stay tuned, follow along, enjoying all the fun. And until the next time, guys, shake a tail feather.